X marks the spot, my fellow traders. Look what's happening here. I've also got something really interesting to share with you in the mining sector as well too. Plus there's something else that I'm going to share with you that I think is going to really blow you away, surprise you, maybe even shock a few people. Anyway, let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, see that very first link in the description? Grab that trading course, free trading course. Or you can buy it if you want to, right? You can buy it if you want to. it's okay. Or if you get it for free, it's there. So anyway, let's actually get into the market. So obviously, we had the good old rate rise today. It came out, yeehaw, it's coming. Now, here is the really interesting thing about the good old stocky market. That's right, the good old stocky market. The good old stocky market right now on the S&P 500 is that we are in this triangle pattern that's still developing through here, as you can see, right? So we've got this big trend line. I'll point out to here, right there, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, and bada bing, right? So that's the long term coming down. And then guess what? Also the short term, coming up like that, right? What do we have? Right? So right now we are like X marks the spot when it comes to the trending lines, right? That's right, the trending lines. We've got the stocky market and the trending lines. Some people may think that I'm a bit of a trader right now. Right, so anyway, so we have that here, right? Support, and we've actually broken out to the downside. So that's the big picture here, right? We're still rejecting here. But if I zoom in on this, look what we're also at as well too. We're actually at a bit of a double top formation here, right? A bit of a double top, and without this level through here. So it's really interesting to see what is going on, what is going to happen here. Which way does it break? Do we get this type of move coming out of the markets? If so, new low to come. And that's actually where I'm veering more towards, but I'm not going to guess. I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to trade, and I'm going to make money. Okay. So I'm going to resistance, and then a breakdown. Okay. So once we actually have that, once we see that there, resistance, and then breakdown, we can actually see what's going on there, right? So we have this little breakdown move through here, and then we have this, and if we get that, we could probably see a movement on the downside. Now, also, guys, the big thing I really want you to understand is that by looking at the S&P 500, we are still in a very big downward trend, right? The trend is still down right now. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if the big fella upstairs with the long hair comes down and says, John, you don't know what's going on. We're about to see 6,000 S&P. Hey, that rhymes. You don't know what's meant to be. You think we're going to see 6,000 S&P, right? Cool. So what do we have here? And I'm making fun of that, guys, but let's just keep it really simple here, right? High, lower high, lower high. This could just be what? Another lower high. Guys, we are not out of the woodworks yet. Don't be going, oh, Santa Claus is coming to town. Here we go. He's got the big bags too. Right? Now, yes, that is possible, right? That is possible. But right now, every time we've gotten a big rally like we got right now, it has been not good for the markets, right? Because we've got a rally. Why? Because it's a downward trend. Rally, downward trend. Rally, downward trend, right? So we look for the downward trend in the markets, and we're still getting that. So this is where, guys, I'm telling you right now, if we start to break below, and you can see here from a weekly chart perspective as well too, right? Look at this here. From a weekly chart perspective, we can see how that 3,900 area is huge. This is a weekly chart, remember, guys, okay? We had resistance here, resistance, and look at all this here. So that was 2 weeks of resistance. This 1 week here, rejection, 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 and then now this week we've got the rejection so far. Remember, big downward trend. We're getting a lot of rejection. What happens if this bar what happens if this bar here comes down and closes there? That's not, it's talking to us, right, guys? It doesn't matter what we think or what we hope for. No. Right? And especially us men, we have egos. Like, no, I'm right. Like, no, the market's right. Okay, so let's listen to the market. So once we get something like that, there's no Santa Claus. I'm sorry, if we get that there, no, Santa Claus, he not come today. He not come. Right? He goes away. Right? And then new lows to come. If we get something like that, guys, we're probably gonna see a big movement on the downside for the rest of this year, and making new lows, and probably seeing that through there. So that's what I'm looking at there, guys. When it comes to the S&P 500, I would not want to be fighting that at all too. Let's go have a look at the mining sector, and I'm seeing something really interesting with the mining sector. And I want to share something with you here. Sometimes the market, what happens with the market, right, is that we can have different types of legs in movements, right? We can have strong legs, and then we can have slowing down legs, which generally means we're coming towards the end of a move, right? So if we have a move up like that, that's strong, right? Boom, vertical. But then if we start to do something like that, see how this one here is more vertical, so this is strong. This one here is more weak. You see that through there? So when I'm looking at this right here, right? When I'm looking at this right here, and I'm see how this is it's much more slower. It's not as like, here we go, strong up, right? So what can happen sometimes is the market goes up, and then it goes from strong to then weak, and then we get the reversal, right? So then, as we can see back here, right? So we can see what actually happened. We actually went strong. Then see how it actually went different, right? It's a different angle. We had very big, strong upper leg. Buyers are quite strong through here. And then it slowed down. Then we had the breakout, and then we had the pullback. Look what's happening through here, right? It's the exact same similar formation. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to get the breakout, guys, right? I'm going to go short the money sector. No, don't be a moron, right? No, let's at least, firstly, you should never trade based off just a YouTube video, right? And I don't care what you bumblebees say in the chat box below. If you do trade off what I'm talking about here right now, you are a moron. You trade, if you're trading the market, you trade based off your system, a pattern. Whether it's my system, which I teach you for free in the free trading course below, or someone else's system, you need to trade based off a system. Don't be a moron. I saw someone recently who's been following me for a long time. They're not following anything. They've been trading based off exactly what I'm saying not to do right now. And then she goes, oh, John, I've blown up my entire trading account. I've got no money now. How can you help me? I'm like, are you serious now? Come on. No, guys, because most of you guys right now are losing money. Most of you little bumblebees in the chat box below are losing money in the markets, right? The reason why I'm so successful at trading is not because I'm smart. It's because I have my setup and I wait for it. It's as simple as that. Right? So then look at this here. The market's going up. The little rant there, right? A little rant there. But the market goes up. Look what's happening here, right? Slowing. So the key for me to say we're probably likely to get a big pullback would be a breakaway bar. So as we can see, right? Let me actually I'll bring this one up through here. Right? So as we can see, it goes into like a little flag formation, right? So that's actually... I'll do this thing here. All right, so notice how we actually go up like this here. It's like a little flag formation. See how we got we generally get like a bit of a breakaway bar, and then we get the start move. So to start to see the upward move, we're probably going to see something like this, right? What we want to see is we get a large bar breaking down like that. Then we're probably going to see a bit of a move back to the downside as well too, because the overall trend on the mining sector is, guess what, right? If you've watched this video all the way through, we talk about the big picture. I remember I talked about before on the S&P on the big picture. Now look at this here. The big picture on the mining sector is still down. We are in a downward movement. This is just a short-term pullback in the big picture on the mining sector. Do not get this fooled by potentially something bigger. Now it can turn into something bigger, but we're not there yet, right? Down, up, we're just at a pullback here, and we're right at this level of resistance. This could just be a pullback in the big bear market, and then we go like that with the overall stock market, okay? So whatever you do, guys, whatever you do, keep an eye out for the stuff that I talked about here today. And let me just have a quick look at the gold market as well too. And Gold's doing the exact same thing, right? Gold's doing the exact same thing here. It's doing that slowing movement, isn't it? Right, so we had this move down. Gold's doing the exact same thing right now. Up, and now we're going slowing through here. So if we do start to break out of this level through here, guys, and we start to get something like that on the downside, then we could see, the way that this is setting up here right now, we could see everything pull back real soon.